Hey guys, we're going to be doing an install video of these Auxbeam lights I put on my truck, and there they are. I've already installed everything, but I'm going to show you with the extra wiring harness how everything's wired to the vehicle. Okay, so because you get wiring harness with each light, right? So it's separately controlled. I actually ran mine in series, so everything's wired together, and so it just runs off of one switch. So I'm going to show you with the extra harness of how I put it all together. But if you notice on my install on the website, it shows the brackets going the other way. Well, I didn't like that look, so I just swapped from one side to the other, and it gives me an exact 13-inch bolt hole in between. So you might want to keep that in mind, and you'll see how I've coated the wires with this stuff from, you know, your regular auto parts store. And at this junction here, I soldered and or shrink wrapped everything together, heat shrink, and ran it all the way up and taped around there. And you'll see then how these holes right here were the existing holes of my bar. And if you guys have the same type of deal, I'll show you how I kept that a nice wiring clean look right now. Okay guys, if you guys are going for a nice clean wiring look, let me show you a little trick. See, I've got my holes pre-drilled here, and I've got the original hole for a light here. So I want my wiring coming directly down into that hole, so I can tie this up and it won't be seen, and I'll have a nice clean look. I'm going to give you an idea of how I'm doing it. Okay guys, so here's the light here, and the wiring comes out one side, and because I'm using side mounts, I want my wire coming exactly where it's coming through, whether it be in the middle, this side, or this side. What I'm doing is this mount here that I'm not using, the track, I'm putting the wire through that like so. And in between the two bracket holes, so it comes out this end like so. Then what I'm doing, let me get this right, okay, and I'm putting mine underneath instead of on this side, how they show you on the website. I'm putting this on this side, so the bracket curls under to give it that cleaner look. So with my wire like that, I'm going to get a washer and a screw here. I'm just going to set that in there like so. Alright, now we'll just adjust it to where the other one has to go in. And you guys will probably notice, make sure you're not going to pinch any wires. You just want to get it in between those two bracket mount holes like so. There we go, like so. I'll get this other side in. There we go. I'll bring it over to the truck. So now my hole beside my mount, is over here slightly. So now I'm just going to pull this out like so to go right over top of my hole, and then I've got a nice clean wiring job. So I'll show you on the truck. Okay, so my hole for the wiring is right here, and my holes for the bolts are exactly, if you do it this way on the inside, the hole is exactly 11 inches apart. So now I can put the wiring down that hole, and it needs to come over just a slight so I can pull it down and it'll slide over as far as I need it. That's about perfect there. So now I'll put my bolts in like so and like so. Drop them down, get my wiring in, drop it down like so. Now, and now I've got a nice clean wiring job that goes straight down, and everything I can tuck underneath. The bolts, I'll get clips that will actually hold the wiring I'm going to be doing on. So, like so. Oh, got the washer. But you guys get the idea. Putting the wiring through that single mounting bracket groove gives it a nice clean look. Like so. I still have to take it outside after I do the wiring, but that's a nice clean look, and the wiring's not going to be in the way and look god awful ugly. But that's how that looks, nice and clean. Okay guys, so this will be the wiring harness you get with it, and I'm just gonna pull this out and we'll show you how I wired this. Okay, so this is the wiring harness here. Undo it all. You get your two relays, 230 amps, your ground and your positive for the relay. So this actually powers your lights, and at the other end where your switch is, this plug right here for your switch actually just powers the relay. So this you can power inside the vehicle where your switch is, and your ground to body ground, and your positive to either, I put it on my cigarette lighter so I get a 12 volt constant so my ignition doesn't have to be on, but you can put it to your ignition, anything coming off of your ignition. Doesn't take a lot of amperage because you are just switching the relays. So I'm going to pull this plug for my switch, and I'll show you how I put this together. Okay, so this is just the switch. So I'll get rid of that for now, and I'll show you how I actually did it on the truck. Okay, so after using some extra wire and splicing it in between and connecting them in series, Now, these three ends go to your actual lights. You have a blue, you have a black, and a white. Now, on the lights itself, the blue is actually the high beam, and the white is just these little slot lights like your daytime running lights. And on the light, the blue goes to red, the black goes to ground, black on either, and then your white goes to white. So the only difference is the blue one goes to red on these lights. So this is the end of it here. Now I've placed basically this in line of how I have it on the vehicle. And what I've done here is, you'll see here, I've mounted the relays just on my inner fender here. The two 30 amp fuses right here. It's actually missing the little bracket where you can mount them, but it's kind of good that it doesn't mount, because these little doors for the fuses just flip open, so it's fine just hanging. And you'll notice down in there I have just all the excess twist tied together, zip tied together. And then you'll see here my blue and white wire. I've actually cut it, so this is how this goes here. Now my blue and white, I actually cut it and put these two wires through my firewall and then splice them back together. And where your switch plugs in inside the vehicle on the other side of the firewall, I just have my black and red. I've got my black to a ground under the dash, and I've got the red connected to a constant power. As I said, I use my cigarette lighter. And then it's just a matter of plugging the switch in, and we'll go inside the vehicle and I'll show you that. Okay, so here's my switch here, and all I did was use a soldering iron and just this little lip. Once you pull your dash, well, on my application anyway, I just placed it down and put this back. So melted a hole through my little dash there and then just placed it in. And this light here, this switch here, it comes on red. Hopefully you can see that. That's the little daytime running lights, the little extra lights on the side, and then the other switch is the main light itself. So that's how I've got my application together. And my green is the main beam, my red is the daytime running light. So other than that, it's a very simple job. I would suggest taking the time and actually doing it proper and sleeving all your wires just to keep the weather good, but you know, but that's how I've got that installed. So let me give you a look what they look like switching on and off. Okay, so this is the daytime running light, just like that. And then now we're going to do the main beam. Absolutely awesome. Now you can see in comparison, to my regular lights, even on high beam, these lights just outdo them to the nines. Now we'll go outside and take it for a drive and I'll show you what they look like. Now before we do this test, I'm going to show you that my lenses are clear. Okay, they're nice and cleaned. They're not yellowed like most lights. Now we're going to head out and I'll show you the difference in how bright they are. Okay guys, so I've just turn my truck around in the shop looking out my garage door, and this is my low beams, this is my high beams, and now I'm just gonna put the LEDs on. That's the difference in lighting. Wow, huge difference. Now let's go somewhere a little darker. I have to say, with the looks of just the little daytime running lights on, it looks really good. Okay guys, so we're outside the old mill, and this is my headlights, this is my high beams, and now the LED. And it just goes to show you the difference in the spotlight, how bright this actually is, and how much distance it throws is just absolutely amazing. I'll shut these off. There's the mill there, and that's how bright it goes. Absolutely amazing. Oh, we're heading back into a little bit of a dark area. Turn them on. Everything is lit up. Absolutely awesome. So when you're off-roading, you can definitely be able to see the hills you gotta go down. Haha, sweet. Even just doing a wall test, you can tell how much of a difference. So this is my headlights, that's my high beams, and you'll see how the LEDs just drown them right out. Gone. I'll turn my headlights off. That is absolutely awesome. That's with them off. Here's with the little daytime runner lights, and I'll show you my daytime running lights. It's not bad, but it looks really cool with the daytimes on. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and it really sets off the truck. And keep an eye out, I'll be LEDing everything on this truck. So keep an eye out for more videos of these Auxbeam lights. They are absolutely great quality. And yeah, it's the way it is. You can buy, you can go to myleyounknowwhat.com and get really cheap lights, but you get what you pay for. Cheap lights. Auxbeam is strictly off-road lighting, and they do a good job. Cheers, guys.